So today we are playing in the ECL The ECL Preseason. Our first game, or our first opponent, is Loupi, one of our very own ODM members, which sort of sucks for us since we lose a member early, having them getting taken out of the tournament. But we'll have to make do. He is playing Voudlulz, and I have brought my standard Vampire Coast build against him, just to see how it fares with the new update. This build specializes in anti-skirmish, but it performs decent if you get rushed. So let's see, we're just going to position in a star formation with our guns in the center. And we're going to play extremely wide with our infantry. So there we go. Our dogs will be spread out along the sides. And we'll put some in the corners to scout for any vanguard shenaniganry. Loupi, our opponent, is ready. Did I say he was playing Wood Elves? I'm not sure. But there we go, he's ready. And we can jump into the battle. Deck gunners and dogs are mostly to kill skirmishers. Handgunners are to kill anything that rushes in. And the zombies are there to just hold the line as long as possible, as per usual. Yeah, our handgunners are a little bit spread apart. Let's get them a bit closer so they can get that crossfire. And he's ready. So let's begin. And there we go. It looks like it's not a rush. At least if it is, it's not a vanguard. And he has gone for the Sisters of Twilight. Now, the Sisters are they are new to the DLC. And the big thing about them is that they have crazy healing. Let's see. Okay, a shot going into my deckhand mobs. That's good for me. Yeah, so they have crazy healing, and they'll waste the ammunition of your deck gunners if you spend too much time shooting them. So we'll have to be very sparing on that front. Our handguns, however, have enough ammunition to be shooting for the whole game, essentially. So we're not too worried if they get some shots off. Also seeing some Deepwood Scouts revealing themselves. So in response, we're going to pull back our front line, which lets our deck gunners get in range to shoot them if they reveal themselves again. Where's Noctilus? He's back there. Okay, and now we're going to use our deck gunners to just put in a little bit of damage on the Sisters. And by a little bit of damage, I mean a whole lot of damage. Let's see, Deepwood Scouts have revealed themselves, and these Blade Riders are a little out of position. So we can punish them for that. And I think I'm going to have to spread out my handguns so they don't take as much damage from the Sisters there. Meanwhile, we really want those handguns to be in position. And Noctilus is now going to put down a summon so that we can spot those scouts. There we go. It seems like they've actually moved pretty far back. Oh, we got some dryads coming in. But we can send our dogs into them. And then they'll just get munched up. Our deck gunners can kill those branch wraiths who are far away. And those Deepwood Scouts are a little bit too far to support. And you know what? The Sisters of Thorn are a little bit close. So I think I'm going to focus them instead. We might actually be able to get a kill here, which is really good. But the cavalry is coming in a bit close now. However, the Sisters should be dying. We actually get them to rout, which means that the deck gunners can just continue firing and they can't really dodge. And there we go. We managed to get them to, what's it? We shattered them and we killed them. So that's nice. And I think that will likely lead to our victory here. See, some more Glade Riders are charging in, but we have Hounds at the ready to countercharge them, which will prevent a lot of their damage. And we really just have to keep those Way Watchers far away. We do not want them engaging on top of us, because you can see their shots will do a lot of damage to my handguns. However, nice. I think we just traded really well there, though, and we managed to pull out a win. Especially that snipe on the Sisters of Twilight. That was big. And yeah, just defending the deck gunners is all we needed to do. The Glade Riders are really good at defending against dogs, but they're much worse at attacking Vampire Coast formations. See, my guns were just able to pepper them away. Okay, so we are loaded into the second game against our clanmate Loupi. We are up one game, having won, against the Wood Elves with Vampire Coast. And now we're seeing how well our Lizardmen build will fare versus Chaos. We have a nice, we have a nice hit squad of double Carnosaur to win any monster fights. Have a few skirmishers to keep horsemen away, and also to drop rocks in case we see mid-tier to elite infantry. Some Croxagores for some mass to make sure that chariots don't run over our Saurus. Also to pin down any monsters in a big monster fight. In reserve, we have some red-crested skinks who are really good supporting in monster fights since they are unbreakable and they have AP. And also some skinks so that if horsemen loop around, we can use these guys to distract them for quite a while. So there we go. There's our build. Good luck, have fun to Loupi. And looking at his unit count, it looks like a pretty small army. So I'm expecting probably something similar. Some monsters, some mid-tier infantry. And yeah, we'll have a big fight. Melee fight. Looking at his build, that is indeed the case, except he's actually gone for a Hell Cannon, which is interesting. And Sigvald the Magnificent. Cool. Very interesting build here from Loupi. And immediately I'm thinking about dodging that Hell Cannon shot. Shoots in on my Chameleon Skinks, which is, that's good for me. And it's just a bunch of Chaos Warriors and, oh, actually some Chosen with Halberds. So I know what I'm going to save my drop box for. And we just want to get this fight going as quickly as possible. So we can skirmish away those horsemen, dodge with our pterodons, but they get hit anyways. And let's see. I think we can begin cycle charging. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, my skirmishers are actually going to lose some pterodons here, actually, which hurts a little bit. But the fighting should get started now. Have our monsters in on top of some Chaos Warriors. And in a second, actually, you know what? Let's throw down some buffs right now. Get our monsters in on Sigvald. And there we go. We have a bunch of buffed up troops. We're keeping the horsemen back. And we're winning the infantry fight. Sigvald is taking a beating. But we have those Chosen with Halberds coming up, who are pretty scary. So we're going to pull back our Croxagores versus them. And I think we're going to take our Skinks and use them for the job that I was talking about earlier. Just keeping away those horsemen. Meanwhile, our Pterodon Riders can move in. And their job is to bomb out the Chosen. Nice, it looks like our distraction plan has worked for the Marauder Horsemen. And those drop rocks did very little, surprisingly enough. Now, let's see, those chosen with great or with halberds are still gonna be a little bit of a pain. We can see that they are indeed, putting in a lot of damage onto our monsters, especially the Croxagores. But now that we have our red-crested skinks against them, things could go a little bit better. Let's see here. Our monsters are taking a lot of damage to Sigvald. Let's pull them back real quick. You need to buff your leadership so you don't rout. And let's see here. Let's take stock of the battlefield. That Hell Cannon is being a pain against my Pterodons. At the very least, it's not shooting against anything else. And I think we have a pretty nice fight against Sigvald again. Also, a huge buff on all of our troops means that their melee defense will be very high. And I'm seeing an opportunity for another drop box. So we're going to do that. Sigvald is now down. He has fallen to the double Carnosaur. And these red-crested skinks surely have gone just amazing value this game. So let's see. Let's get our monsters through. Let's throw down yet more buffs for our troops. And I think we want to be routing these chosen with halberds. They still have pretty good HP, but they're on the verge of routing. Just need to get enough damage in. Ooh, these Chaos Warriors too will probably be able to rout them. So with some nice terror injection, we get them to run, and that's GG. Alright, so a solid 2-0 against our clanmate. We had some pretty nice matchups, I think. And man, actually the Hell Cannon did okay, but it didn't pay for itself. And yeah, Skinks, of course, they paid for themselves a lot. And the Red Cresteds did less damage than I would have expected. But there we go. We've won our first round. So we're in our first game against Irongeneral. He's playing as the Lizardmen against my Skaven. In a best of 3. I have a Hellbit, Throt, and a Plague Priest for my 3 monsters. Only one of these is above 1800. So we are within the rules. And we have a pretty standard Skaven build. Lots of spears. And some guns, which will be doing a lot of the damage. The main difference here, though, is that we have a lot of monster fighting power here. So combined with the assassin and his assassin's trophy, something like a Mazda Mundi would likely get murdered here. At least I hope so. And that's what we're going to be seeing this game. Our formation is going to be the usual Skaven layout. A bunch of slaves in the front, and some troops that will move in to support if the slaves start collapsing. We have our guns too, but I'm a little bit worried if we see a lot of ranged power from the Lizardmen, since we don't have too many long-ranged troops. Although if there is something like a double solar engine, we have a lot of monsters, and they will likely be able to win it for us. So, with Irongeneral ready, and us too ready to go, let's get into the game. Where are my summons? Oh god, I forgot to bring magic. Ugh, oh god, that's terrible. It's fine. We don't need magic. So, for Irongeneral's build, he has a Stegodon, a Bastiladon, and another Bastiladon. So, a lot of ranged troops. Which should be fine. Because we have a lot of monsters here. And all we gotta do is make sure that they continue dodging. so that they do not get shot to death. Oh man, it's really too bad that we forgot to bring magic though. Oh my gosh, how could we forget? Alright, so he's moving back with his troops, which is to be expected. And let's see here. These guys need to go here. Our bell needs to continue dodging. And okay, there are some skink skirmishers here that we will have to worry about. Our mortars can begin firing. And our teeth breakers want to be shooting at that Bastillodon. Meanwhile, we are going to move up with our slaves. And you know what? I'm actually pretty happy trading fire here. So let's just continue doing that. Bring our hell pit and our strike squad together. And move in the teeth breakers to shoot us some dinos. Okay, we can also continue pushing up with our infantry, since I really don't want my monsters to die here. Let's see, I see a gap in the lines here. So let's begin diving in there. We can also throw down a Bret attack, I believe. And we can also throw down some rat ogres. We'll go do that and send them on top of the Bastillodon, which should push them back. And now we have our monsters moving in, engaging on the ranged lizardmen forces. This is a very good situation for us. Let's see. We just gotta make sure that our guns keep firing. Let's see here. Ooh, nice. A banishment by the looks of it. We can dodge that. Nice. We can throw down a buff too. Let's see. Hell Pit Abomination. You can go on the Bastillodon. And Throt, you're taking quite a bit of damage. But that's not too much of a problem, I don't think. To move up that assassin. And oh, we actually had our mortars get locked down. That sort of sucks. Let's see. Throt is also taking quite a bit of heat. So we'll throw down a healing on him. We'll use our Plague Priest. No, we won't. Let's see here. Throt can move away from the skirmishers. And these forces can begin chasing that ranged power. Nice. So that's a solar engine shutdown. It's very good for us. There's another solar engine up. And we have the Stegodon on the run. Our infantry will only do so well too. And we are losing our ranged troops to skirmishers. Hurts a lot. But we really just have to kill, we really just have to catch these ranged guys. So Throt is going to move in. He's going to go in on the, on the Stegodon. And I think that's a good engagement for him. Our Storm Vermin Halberds too are trading effectively into the Saurus. And we even have the Skink Skirmishers getting caught. Let's see, Hell Pit is doing really well on that flank. And nice. That should be a route from the Saurus Spears in just a second. There is a Bastillodon shooting at my Plague Priest. But that's no problem for us. As the Plague Priest is still very healthy. Let's move up these Teeth Breakers too. I think they can do well. And let's just continue pushing back these Skirmishers. Hell Pit still doing really well, but we want to always keep an eye on it to make sure that something doesn't go terribly wrong. And I'm seeing some more Saurus Spears now that we can actually begin killing. Throt, meanwhile, also doing really well, although taking a little bit of damage. The assassin is there to help. And we can throw a Revival Hide Talisman. So I think we're in a good place there. Meanwhile, Plague Priest sticking on the infantry is good for him. But oh no, Throt is actually getting put in a little bit of a worse position. So we're going to pull him back so that we can chase down that Bastillodon. And we're also going to bring these infantry over here. Let's free up our Teeth Breakers. And see how the monster fight's going. It's going okay. One of the big things is that we don't have any more infantry support. But that's solar engine down. That means that a lot of the firepower is gone for the lizardmen. Let's see here. Plague Priest still doing well. I like it. And there we go. We finally have taken down one of the big monsters. So let's take out that Stegodon next. We can throw healing down on Throt. Since it looks like he just took a huge hit. And we're gonna see if we can take down the Stegodon. Man, that solar engine is doing a lot though. And I'm really wishing that I had summons. But whatever. You know what? That Bastillodon really needs to get shut down. And oh no, our Hell Pit is actually taking a lot of damage. Oh, that's a big miss though. Oh man, but he's about to rout. And there we go. Goodbye, Hell Pit. Whew, that's rough. In fact, I'm really wishing I had my bell here. But sadly, it's not around. Our forces are going to continue pushing in. And yeah, things are looking rough. Throt is out of the battle too. And now the assassin. And I'm starting to think this is going to be a Lizardman victory here. Ooh, man. I think that was really rough getting our backline compromised by some skink skirmishers. And there we go. Rip Throt. He gets out of the battlefield. And look at all that's healing on the Stegodon. Maybe we should have just been chasing the solar engines the whole game. So GG. As we lose our first game against Irongeneral. Putting us in a pretty bad spot, I'd say. Because now he gets to counterpick us. Does the Hell Pit ever get its final heal? Yeah, it does, 50% of the time. 50% will feel lower and higher than you might expect. But humans are really bad at judging probabilities. So don't worry if it doesn't heal. My Storm Vermin did do well. Actually, they only got 500 gold value. They killed about a Saurus unit. But yeah, I lost all my monsters. That was too bad. We have our second game against Irongeneral. We are down 1, so if we lose this, we're out of the tournament. And we have brought Bretonia. Well, no, he has brought Skaven against our Bretonia. For our army, we have the Fey Enchantress. Recently nerfed, but still pretty powerful. Along with double Paladin support, we're expecting them to be able to fight basically anything the Skaven throw at us. Even their new buffed up units will probably not do too well for something like double Paladin. There are also battle pilgrims and a line of peasant mobs. Peasant mobs are just there to hold the line, but these battle pilgrims, on the other hand, will be very good for killing Skaven chaff. So if we see something like Skaven spears, clan rats, then we'll be able to take them out with those guys. If that doesn't work, we have our Knights of the Realm with very high, low AP damage, but high damage numbers in general. If you take a look here, come on, take a look here. Yeah, they do 37 damage, most of it non-AP, but with Skaven, that's not too much of a problem. We also have a bunch of peasant bowmen too, which will be applying poison to any groups that we see, and fire arrows for anything that heals, which is a lot of the Skaven monsters. Small adaptation that we've made is that we've also brought some extra knights that we'll be using specifically to kill wolf rats, because we all know that our peasant archers have almost no chance versus wolf rats. They'll be routing almost immediately. So these guys are there specifically to keep them alive. All that out of the way, however, that is our army, and I think we can get ready. So good luck, have fun to Irongeneral. And let's see if we can bring it to an ace match. Yeoman got buffed too. Is it worth using the wedge formation for Bretonia Cav? Generally not. except for late game situations. And yeah, it has to be very specific, but it makes them very hard to maneuver. For Irongeneral, I am seeing, it looks like he's actually going to be rushing us. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, he moves in range of our archers. And we can now move in our cavalry. We can definitely expect some wolf rats in the back. So you know what, I'm going to position my my camera to make sure that we don't get ambushed by wolf rats. Let's see, our battle pilgrims also need to be moving in. So they're going to do that. And then our archers are going to be focusing that that big monster over there. There we go, the front line has engaged. We can see the real Ixcha's triads over here, screening out our hero squad. And what's it? That's a Grey Seer that I think we'll be able to shoot down. The nice, oh, lots of monster fighting is going on here now. And I think those guys are gonna have to pull back. We do not want them to be fighting against so many Skaven troops. Instead, we're just going to be winning the front line with our knights. I'm not seeing any wolf rats, so that's good for us. And I think our paladins will be able to escape. It's good for them. While our knights cycle charge the front line. There we go. Let's see. I see a paladin. It looks like he's about to die. But oh man, that was close. He does manage to live, which is good. And the front line is being won. The Plague Priest has taken a lot of damage. And we have a bunch of archers. We're now chasing off the routing units. And we'll be able to charge some Clanrat spears in the back. So using our mobility to our advantage. The battle pilgrims are doing really nice. And it seems like this what's it? Sort of Eshin style of Skaven is getting shut down. There we go. Some more units rout off the field. We may even be able to catch some rat ogres too. And you know what? I think I can bring my archers in to support once again. Let's keep getting that cycle charging going. And let's see, how is this fight going? I think we need a lot of healing there, so we'll throw that down. And our peasant archers are getting hit by the Vikstrin's death squad. Really depends on where that monster goes. That will determine where we decide to move our army. But right now it's stationary in the woods. It's good for us. He does start pulling back. We'll move here. And the dreaded 13th spell on a bunch of my knights is pretty scary. I also see, I think the Fey Enchantress is getting a bit mucked up. Which, that's not good. So we're going to see if we can get her out of there. You know what? Our knights are actually going to have to go in as quickly as possible. Our paladin really needs to kill that Skaven Lord. Our Fey Enchantress continues to take damage. And I'm worried. I gotta say, I'm worried. She is caught by Ixcha's triads. She's going to buff up these knights and hopefully they can peel for her escape. They charge in. And nice. We do finish off the caster there. But at the same time, our opponent does the same thing to us. Looking like they're going to actually kill off the Fey Enchantress. Not a good place to be. Storm Vermin Halberds will also be a problem. And it looks like, there we go, the Fey Enchantress is off the field. So trading out our lords means that we now also do not have any healing. And there is a huge Skaven monster blob charging towards my archers. So let's rally up all of these troops that have fled and see if we can pin them down with our knights. Our paladin too can fight that big monster. And we'll also be charging these guys in the back. So rat ogres are getting shot up now. And we have some knights that can kill some death runners. But a lot of this will come down to our cycle charging ability. How many knights do we have left? Oh dear, we forgot a full HP unit of knights. Let's get those guys in, jeez. as we continue to cycle charge around. Some archers want to back away from the Vikstrin's death squad. And you know what? We might be able to win this off the back of our archers. They're doing exceptional right now. And with our knights cycle charging, it means that we're in an okay position. The assassin, however, has jumped our paladin. And this is looking to be a very even fight. There we go. We got the death runners on the run. And our paladin is safe. However, he doesn't have any healing. And that mutant rat ogre, still gonna be a problem. See, the assassin is charging in. We have a lot of some battle pilgrims left. And a charge on that guy will do us some good. Finally, our full HP knights. The riders are coming. And man, our paladin's taking some heat. Did he get debuffed? Yeah, he got assassin's trophied. But if that ogre charges into our peasants, he is going to meet a pretty nasty fate. Although, maybe not, as that assassin moves in. Going straight for our paladin. You know what? We're just going to run away with him. And we're just going to use our knights to kill off all of that infantry. Meanwhile, our archers are going to be shooting at the ogre. Nice. Our knights are safe. And these rat ogres in the distance now are going to be a little bit scary. But okay, nice. We almost got that guy routed. And you know what? We got a full HP unit of knights. Let's see if we can take him out. Our knights charge in. And there we go. We get him to rout. So that's a huge plus. And with that, the balance of power turns in our favor. Ooh, some triads, though, moving in towards our peasants will have to be dealt with. And we're going to save our ammunition to kill rat ogres. Let's get that paladin in position. And he will be setting up to fight the assassin. But we'll have to be very, very careful. Let's see. Those guys are looking like they're on the verge of routing, but just barely not yet. Get the paladin in. And oh man, if we get a mass rout, that would be amazing. One unit routs, it shatters. The rat ogres scramble to get into position. They are hidden, so we can't shoot them. But it looks like we're about to get the assassin. I'm not entirely sure. The rat ogres are now moving about. And the assassin is looking really low. Rat ogres now should be able to get shot by our archers. And they actually call my bluff on the knight charge, refusing to turn around. So I'm going to charge them now in the back. And let's see if we can get them killed. The assassin now is routed, which is good. We're going to chase him off with battle pilgrims. I'm okay if he comes back, because really, I think we just need to win this fight to get a victory. Balance of power is now swinging wildly in our favor. And with the paladin hitting the rat ogres, I think we're gonna manage to pull it to an ace match. There we go, the rat ogres are out. The Skaven assassin is out too. And whew! We managed to get a win. Yes! There we go, that's all you gotta do. Oh man. So, we lost the Fey Enchantress. But she got a little bit of damage. This paladin right here, 800 damage value, doing really good. Fighting ogres all game. Really though, the main winners here are the knights. All did pretty well, although pretty subpar. Actually, never mind. The actual real winners are our peasant bowmen. Look at this guy. That unit of peasant bowmen, like, they won the game for me, essentially. Probably shooting at the expensive beast for most of the game. Battle Pilgrims 2 doing well. And peasants, surprisingly, I find that peasants get their damage value back. It's actually pretty cool. So you know what, maybe peasant spam is the real answer now. So, we have loaded into the game. We're playing the ace match against Irongeneral, and we have brought a little bit of a different coast build than we usually do. We've gone for an Air Force to punish Chaos's lack of ability to shoot up, and a nice defensive formation with zombie deckhands and bombers. That's right, we're still running bombers because even though they got nerfed, it doesn't mean that they're bad now. It means that they're balanced, at least hopefully. So we're going to see how well they manage to defend our front line. Do not want to get burning headed, so we're going to position a little bit skewed, and a little bit more spread out. We still don't want the chaos. Still don't want chaos to be able to break through these gaps in our lines, though. So we'll have to position a little bit close, because our back line is defended by Morngul Haunters. That's right, very nice unit. That should serve pretty nicely here. Oh, that's a small Chaos Army. We also have deck gunners to keep away the Marauder Horsemen, and they are in a nice safe position alongside our Sirens, who we can focus on greatly to make sure that they are able to hunt down any units that we can pick. There's also a Gunnery Wight too. He does quite a bit of damage, and he can supply our deck droppers with ammunition. Which will be very exciting there. So with our army set up, we'll give a good luck, have fun to Irongeneral. We will turn on guard mode. See how well we do. Stacy's ready. I don't know if that was from the lobby or not. I can't tell, so I guess we'll wait for him to ready up. You know what? We can afford to position a little bit further back. We want to delay the engagement. Now we are blessed with the fact that his army is so small. It means that if there's a lot of Marauder horsemen, we can just shoot them. All right, and it looks like he has gone for a ton of Forsaken, Sartorial, and Chaos Chariots galore. Alrighty, they'll need to get blocked up by our Morngulls. And we're going to see if Luther and Co. are able to kill these chariots. We're going to pull back a tiny bit, actually. And let's begin dealing some damage to those chariots. Nice, we got some volleys off with our handgunners. We're going to pull Luther back to make sure that those Marauder horsemen don't do too much damage to us. We do not want that. Nice, so Luther taking a little bit of damage. I wasn't super on point with my dodging, but we can get some shots in now. Our deck gunners are shooting at the horsemen. We have some dogs coming in, and there we go. We traded decently well versus them. Let's see, our deck gunners can continue pressuring some chariots on that flank. And we'll keep our doggos screening the front line. These guys can begin moving up though. Our deck gunners can keep shooting at the Marauder horsemen. And now we want to get ready for this front line of Forsaken to engage us. So we'll charge in there. And let's see if we can kill those chariots. Sartorial too is looking right for the picking. So Luther is going to dive in on top of him, and hopefully he does okay. Our Gunnery Wight is going to move forwards to stop the chariots. It looks like Luther is doing okay versus Sartorial. Our bombers will continue to need to do good work though. But let's just take Luther back into the air. There is a large flank of troops here, mostly Chaos Marauders. So our Night Terrors will do very good there. I'm also seeing a nice breath attack opportunity. Let's go do that and then charge in on Sartorial once again. Night Terrors continuing to take a nice fight there. And Sartorial is pinned down. Let's see, what are these zombie bombers? They're going to deal with the Forsaken. Let's position these guys, move our bats, and see where this takes us. Those Forsaken should be routing in just a second. The bats are going to take out the chariots. Our Haunters are doing well too. And nice, our Sirens and chase off the Forsaken. However, our caster is taking some heat, so let's heal her up. Ooh, and I think I actually missed the heal on her. Ooh, that's bad. So we're going to continue running away with her. And Luther is going to continue trying to kill Sartorial. Our Sirens will screen for a good time. So that's good. And it's going to come down to that, Sartorial. How hard are you going to be to kill? Luther once again lands in on top of him. Our Sirens are going to continue screening. See, my caster recovers, which is going to have a heal in 14 seconds, but we'll have to be very careful not to lose her. Let's see, Luther is putting in a beating on Sartorial. That's nice. And we almost have a healing on that caster. I also see a really nice breath attack opportunity coming up. We're going to prepare for that. Ooh, but it looks like the Forsaken actually decide to pull away. So good on them. But Luther, you can continue moving into the fight. Some Chaos Marauders will take a lot of damage from Scabscrath. And let's take off Fire at Will on Luther, because we do not want him to get caught up in a bad situation. Going to give some ammo to our gun bats. They're going to be fighting the horsemen. And Luther, as soon as he takes out these chariots, should be in an okay position. I don't know. Let's see, our Sirens at the very least are doing well. And we've positioned ourselves for a nice overcast Nahek. The Luther is back in the sky now. And it looks like our punishing strat for punishing, well, actually punishing Chaos's lack of anti-air is working pretty well. Our Siren pick too is doing us some good. And in a second, you know what, I think right now Luther can dive in on Sartorial. Our Gunnery White can keep the horsemen busy. And Luther, you can turn Fire at Will back on. So our gun bats can move up too. And Sartorial, you have some missile resist. But these gun bats, they do a lot of damage. Luther is surrounded though. So we have a heal ready. In case he needs it. Come on. And there we go. We see his armor actually gets reduced with the Plague of Rust. Should be fine though. We're just going to fly away with him so he can do some dodging. And as soon as Sartorial goes down, I think we're good. Let's give some more ammo to these deck droppers. I really like giving ammunition to them, since that is one of their main weaknesses. And you know what? Let's move in our flyers over here on top of the Sirens. And get an overcast Nahek on top of them. There we go. Nice. Meanwhile, our Gunnery White is going to continue firing away. And I see a really nice Scabscrath opportunity over there. Going to do a lot of damage to the Marauders. Our Sirens are continuing to hold. And we should have these Marauder Horsemen off the field in just a second. These Forsaken too are in for a rough time as we throw down a breath attack, which lands and does quite a bit of damage, actually getting them on the verge of routing, which means a charge from Luther will terrify them off. And it's looking rough for the Chaos. Sartorial off in the distance to make sure he doesn't die. Will not be able to help, not even able to support with his magic. And without him, there is no leadership for the Chaos, and we pull a victory. Oh my god, we did it. GG to Irongeneral, giving us a really nice match today. Oh my gosh, that was particularly scary, because he beat us with basically this build yesterday. Although I noticed that there wasn't a whole ton of anti-air. Of course, there are 4 Marauder Horsemen, but with enough micro, you can actually take care of them. Our Gunnery White 2 doing really well, paying for himself. Luther 2. Mourngul's not so much, same with the dogs. But I sort of like this build. It felt okay. And I really like the Sirens because there's just not enough magic damage to kill them. Maybe you need the new buffed Chaos Champions to deal with them. Once again, we are playing against Voidlulz on Prague, playing as the Vampire Coast versus the Counts with a slightly different build than what I usually go, but still a focus on the mighty handguns. We are going to be taking box formations with them so that they can turn more easily. And we will also be using our halberds to screen and stop any, any mobile forces that try to run them down. Stuff like black coaches. We have our Fellbats too. And these are to counter the Fellbats of our opponent. And what's this? Depth Guard with pole arms. That's right. They got +7 melee attack and +4 extra damage. 50% of which is AP. Which is pretty good. So we're gonna see if Depth Guard are able to carry us to a win here. We're taking the pole arms because that's some nice anti-large. And I'm very excited to see them chop up some Crypt Ghouls, maybe even Graveguard. Oh man, very exciting. So we have our army set up. Good luck, have fun to Voidlulz. And let's see how this goes. Our hero squad too, I think they can beat Sirens. The mix between the Haunter, Noctilus, and the Gunnery Wight is pretty scary. So here we go. Our opponent has gone for a Sky build, getting that Terrorgeist and a Corpse Cart. And only a few bats. And who's this? The Red Duke on a bat himself. Interesting. Yeah, we just have to keep him away from our Fellbats. And then we're okay. Slowly advancing now. We move up. Take stock of his infantry. It's pretty high, but there's 2 corpse carts. I think that's pretty strange. I guess he was ready for more of a blob fight. And all we really want to do is trade our Fellbats into him. Shouldn't be too hard. Our Gunnery Wight can begin shooting at Banshees. And our Haunter can also move into engage. Should be good. Nice, the Banshee's actually dodging now. Our Fellbats are at the ready. Don't want the Red Duke to shut them down. Our Gunnery Wight continues to plonk away at these troops, and we can actually have him shoot the Corpse Cart now. We're also going to move our army to the right. That flank will engage a little bit slower, which should benefit us, and then we'll pull our Depth Guard in that direction. Now, where's the Red Duke? He's over there, so we'll pull those Fellbats back, and then we'll move these Fellbats to engage. Our opponent is being very patient here. Good on him. And there we go. Our Fellbats are now beginning the fight. However, our Gunnery Wight is getting in his damage in. So our opponent might be taking their time, but it should be fine. Red Duke is now engaging on these Fellbats over here. So let's just pull them away to buy a little bit more time. We will also catch that Corpse Cart eventually, and then we'll actually get some pretty good value. So nice, Fellbats over here. Actually won that battle. I'm not sure what happened there exactly. And you can see, this is feeling pretty nice. My backline is away from the main infantry threat here. So we'll be able to continue fighting. And my Haunter is wrecking up some zombies. Terrorgeist is moving in, so we will scoot up a tiny bit and then start shooting it with our guns. Meanwhile, our Gunnery Wight, you can shoot that Vargulf. And the Haunter, you can move in over there. You can also start beginning to pivot our army. And we're just going to continue flying away with our bats. Trying to get as much damage in as we can in the early phase of the battle. And I think we're going to just keep chasing down that corpse cart with our gunnery white. So there we go, we'll send him in. And we'll bring these bats away to keep them distracted. Our goal here is really just to kill that corpse cart. It is slow moving. And we're trading our bats for it, which it's not the best situation, but our opponent is able to just kill all of our fell bats before they decide to engage. So this could be bad. A lot of those zombies are really far back, which is good too. But now I'm really wishing that I brought 2 gunnery whites. Specifically because 2 gunnery whites lets you what's it? Having 2 gunnery whites lets you reload ammunition. Which is pretty important for what's it? You want 2 gunnery whites so that they can give each other ammo, and then you can basically poke away forever, and it forces the vampire counts to advance. There we go, gunnery white. It's just going to continue moving on. It's not exactly overextending, since we have our handguns at the ready, and they're going to just start shooting away at the Terrorgeist. So even though it does land on our gunnery white, it should be fine. He stops to use a breath attack, which is nice. And there we go. Yeah, we're just going to use those guys to shoot the dragon to death, hopefully. But our gunnery white takes a big hit. Bullets are now moving in, and we have a Wraith Storm coming in. Also have this nice defensive formation here, and we can move in our halberds to begin blocking. These zombies are taking quite a bit of heat, and the Banshee is being dealt with. But it moves in to engage, and now the fighting starts. Our left flank can get supported by bombers. There's not much else going on there. And looks like our back line needs support. So we're going to summon some zombies over there to block. Then hopefully our guns be able to do a lot of damage, and a huge volley on the Red Duke helps us out quite a bit. Let's pull these handguns a tiny bit. And then our zombies are now going to take out these fell bats. Nice, look at those depth guard chopping up zombies. Good on them. But our handguns need to find priority targets. Let's see, this gunnery white too can melt some skeleton spears, which is good for us. And we can summon some pistols back over there to begin, shooting some crypt ghouls. Red Duke flies above us once again, and we're going to see if we can kill him. Our guns are pointed and firing, and there we go, doing some okay damage. And I think I probably want some healing at some point. Red Duke too, looking like he wants some healing. Taking a lot of damage there. Next up is the Vargulf. Gunnery white is going to buff up the damage of some of our guns. And Noctilus is just going to throw down a big old AoE heal over there. Our depth guard can now move on to clear out the chaff. But our guns have limited life. They will slowly die to the grind of the vampire counts. But at the very least, we are able to get the Vargulf to move away from us, but that's not huge. Our handguns are still alive, and we don't have a Scab Scrath left. But our depth guard are doing okay. I'm liking how they're handling themselves right now. But that Vargulf playing very smartly, just staying outside of our range, while our guns slowly get closer and closer to death. Now, it is important to start killing the Sirens. We didn't bring magic damage, but that was intentional, because we can kill them pretty... We can kill Sirens with enough damage. Let's see, our guns too are able to get another volley on the Vargulf, which helps us out there. And we have a Scab Scrath at the ready. Now, where do we want to cast it? I'm not entirely sure yet. There's a Voudlulz charging in, which means that we can use our monsters to kill it. And we'll leave the Mourngul on the Cyrene. It is a good matchup for him. And I see some Crypt Ghouls over here, which will eventually win the fight. So let's tip that in our favor by throwing a Scabscrath on top of them. You can see here the Voudlulz is now running from our guys, which is good for us. And the Mourngul Haunter. You know, he doesn't do any magic damage, but he puts a beating on that Cyrene. Meanwhile, the Red Duke is nearly heal capped, and we can turn our guns to face him now. And even though he gets a zombie summon off, I think we'll still be okay. Our Gunnery Wight too is in a good position, and our Depth Guard polearms have cleared out a lot of the chaff over here. We just have to move our troops over. And oh no, it looks like Noctilus is actually getting caught up. But you know what? Hey, we get to see the new Footlord buffs. He won't be getting knocked over, and he'll just continue trading damage, which is fine for him. And now that the Red Duke has moved away from Noctilus and the Mourngul, we can just start killing that Cyrene. Meanwhile, let's see, this Gunnery Wight can target the Terrorgeist. And we just have to make sure we don't die to a big old breath attack. Let's see, where are my Depth Guard? They're in the fight and healing up. But it looks like my heroes might get sniped out. Nothing a zombie summon won't be able to patch up. So we'll get that in there. And then start firing away at this Terrorgeist. We'll turn on guard mode to make sure that they keep firing. And I think we're also going to start, we're going to summon some zombies over here. Should do us pretty good. Also get some magic so that we can heal up this group. And our zombies can hold off those skeleton spearmen while doing some pretty good damage themselves. Our Gunnery Wight can move in on the Syrenes. And he can also kill those skeleton spears. That'll be the last of the infantry for the vampire count. And all we need is one more Winds of Magic before we get a big heal over here on our big hero squad. We just have to make sure that they don't die. The balance of power is now swinging in the vampire count's favor, so we'll have to be careful. And we haven't been microing our pistol summon too well. Let's give them just a little bit more ammo, just so that they have that the vampire count buff for as long as possible, and continue to try killing that Voudlulz. My main worry though is that that Terrorgeist is pretty scary. I don't want that thing to kill me. But it's still fine. Our forces are healthy. We're doing a lot of damage to that Voudlulz. But man, all those Syrenes are still at full HP. You know what? Let's keep our Depth Guard away from them. And instead move them to kill that corpse cart. Meanwhile, our Gunnery Wight can kill the other one. Nice, there we go. And man, that is some good targeting from our opponent. He's chasing down our Depth Guard, who are near heal capped. And I'm really wishing that I was able to finish off the Red Duke earlier. But the age of Vampire Coast guns is over. And they aren't terribly effective anymore. Just because they have much less HP. Now we've saved some ammunition on our Gunnery Wight, that he can fire in combat when he actually engages the Terrorgeist. And now that that is happening, we're going to turn on Fire at Will so that he can bring it down. He does a good amount of damage, but it's getting further away. So now it's going to turn off Fire at Will again. We have our Depth Guard fighting skeleton spears, and we have a lot of zombie polearms, which will work in our favor a lot. So now it comes down to this blob fight. Gunnery Wight is getting engaged. He needs to use the last of his ammunition now. And he's just going to try to get as much damage in as possible. The Red Duke, surprisingly, actually managing to escape there. Is big for our opponent, but the balance of power remains very close. Our Depth Guard polearms here too are amazing in this situation. And they might be able to actually get a lot of damage on the Red Duke. He actually lands in a pretty bad place. And our Morngul Haunter could catch him too with his slow. So a little bit of damage is good there. This may be a hard blob fight to read, but that's because a lot is going on. And just a few missed hits here and there could have huge effects. The Red Duke is taking some damage. We get the Morngul on him. But the Terrorgeist is up in the sky now. Now, will it be able to kill Noctilus? I'm not super sure. But what I am sure about is that our Depth Guard are performing extremely well. Our Night Terror, acting as a Vargulf itself, gets a nice hit on his Vampire counterpart. And it looks like I might actually get another good hit. So there we go. But I don't want to go too far, since he could very well get sniped out by the dragon. So we're now going to move our Depth Guard and disengage them from the Sirens. That is not a fight that they want to take. And we're going to leave Noctilus and the Morngul for that. The Sirens are disengaging to chase the Depth Guard, which means that we get a few more free hits with our heroes. That's a plus for sure. And hey, the Vargulf is actually crumbling, which means that the longer this game goes on, the better. Just have to make sure that he does not come back. The 2 flying units for the Vampire counts are also low, and it looks like we might actually be able to pull out a win. So we're going to continue to play as hard as we can to make sure that this does not come down to a loss. And wow, I'm so happy with these experimental Depth Guard. They've done better than I could have possibly expected. But oh no, Noctilus, now at his heal cap, definitely means that there's a little bit of danger here. But the Sirens are taking good damage, and based on the fact that the Vargulf hasn't been healed, I think it means that that there's no more Winds of Magic left for the Vampire counts. So we send our Morngul in to finish off the Vargulf. We don't want it to be regenerating, and hopefully we'll be able to take it out. We need Noctilus in there though, and the Terrorgeist is doing a lot of damage, but the Vargulf goes down. The Terrorgeist is low. He's surrounded by some pretty hard targets. And to disengage would be pretty rough for him. Sirens too are getting bogged up by zombies. But the Morngul gets engaged by the Sirens. We can pull away since we have infantry support. And it's going to come down to Noctilus, I think. How well can you kill that Terrorgeist, Noctilus? Our Morngul does manage to escape, which is good. And the Vampire Lord can't really land. It would be a very risky situation for him. And you know what? I think this is a nice time to use the rest of our Winds of Magic. We're going to buff up and heal our Morngul Haunter, which means that he probably won't die to the Terrorgeist. And he doesn't. He takes out the Terrorgeist himself, which means it's just 2 Sirens now. The Vampire Count's Lord is low, and with our zombie support, we are able to cycle charge, which will likely result in a GG, but there is still a lot of RNG here. We can't let up the pressure, and we're going to have to micro as well as we can, cycle charging as efficiently as we can, so that we get as many attacks in before Noctilus dies. He's at high HP though, so I'm feeling okay for him. And we actually managed to push a Siren out of the fight. So we'll turn the Morngul Haunter around, and then just get a charge on this one, who is now getting ganged up on by Noctilus and the rest of our infantry. So we can see here, we didn't really need to take magic damage, although of course having it does help a lot. But this is working out okay. Man, those Depth Guard pole arms though, they did so well. It's amazing. But okay, we can't celebrate yet. Let's use our Winds of Magic and continue cycle charging with the Haunter. It's getting chased by Sirens now, but it's a fast one. It has a chilling aura, which slows down the Sirens. We just have to keep playing keep away. Noctilus, nice. Gets another hit in. I'm not sure if that actually did damage, but our Haunter should finally be able to take out one of these Banshees. We just have to make sure that Dragon Lord doesn't come in and cause too many problems. And oh no, our zombies actually crumble away. So it's come down to this, our 2 heroes against his 2. But we have a lot more HP. He crumbles away and we finally get a win. GG. Wow, that was amazing. VP versus E Vampire count. Very close. Okay. Not sketchy at all. Not sketchy at all. Oh my gosh, what a game. So, yeah, he did really well in killing our Fellbats. But, wow, they actually didn't get their rally back. The depth guard polearms. But let's look at everything else. The normal polearms did well. The Haunter, amazing. The Gunnery White, amazing. Noctilus, not so much. But the handguns, oh my gosh, look at those handguns. These are nerfed, by the way. This is after the nerf. Imagine if they had like 20% more HP. Wow. Wow, what a good game. For now, we are playing our match. Second game, 1-up against Voidlulz. Playing as the Beastman against Skaven. He left it open, which means that we can counterpick, but we are a bit worried. Usually when your opponent lets you counterpick like that, it means that they are ready for something. As of now, I am not sure what he has decided to bring. But maybe something with the new Skaven units. We will have to see. Start off. We brought a nice cheap front line. And a bunch of monsters in cavalry. Pretty standard for Skaven. So we're going to see if the update actually does anything here. Although I am definitely a little bit skeptical. Gonna put guard mode on our archers because we really want to make sure that they're safe. We're gonna take a look at his army. It's pretty close to ours. Reginald Puggington saying, yeah, I feel like he prepared for this. For sure, but does he have what it takes? We'll throw down the good luck, have fun. And get ready to see what Voidlulz has decided to bring. Even if you prepare for things, stuff can definitely go wrong. We're really hoping that's what happens. He's ready. Alright, here we go. You can see immediately our opponent has bought a box formation with the avalanche mortars. An interesting selection. They can be dodged. There's also a plague priest and a hell pit abomination. There's also some warp grinders. And with each passing moment, I'm feeling happier and happier that I decided to bring some archers. Nice, some Skaven slaves are moving up. And the avalanche mortars are firing. But thankfully they miss. In almost the best way possible. So we're just going to wait for the second volley of them. And there it goes. And we need to get our units on the move to dodge it. And we do. That's good. And now we just continue our advance. We move our cavalry along the flanks. And we probably want to keep a little bit in the back. To make sure. Oh, that's a big hit. Keep some cavalry in the back. To make sure that dogs don't kill everything. Some plague monks can eat a charge from our cavalry. The hell pit abomination can go ahead and take a lot of damage. It seems like a pre-DLC Skaven build by the looks of it. And I think we just want to get our engage on as quickly as possible. Now is as good a time as ever to use our Manticore summon. So we will. And I really want to deal with those plague monks. So we'll do that. We'll get our archers to continue shooting the hell pit abomination. And where's Mogr? He's over here. There we go. We've surrounded the hell pit abomination. And now, oh, Mogr is actually dying. Oh god, support him, save his life. So a surprise assassination attempt coming in on my lord actually nearly works, but barely doesn't. Mogr is going to continue running for his life, and he's gonna get his summon off. After that, we just gotta deal with Snicketch and make sure that he doesn't kill everything that I hold dear. We have another Manticore summon on the ready. And I think it's time we pull back our cavalry for some cycle charging. Mogr, I am so thankful you lived. Because now we have collapsed on the Skaven backline. And we actually are able to shut down those heroes. Nice, a big hit on the assassin. And now we can get another Manticore summon in. Let's keep cycle charging too. And bring in our support. Some warp grinders can be taken out. We have archers for the Hell Pit Abomination. Ogre continues to live pretty well. So I think it's time we snipe out the Hell Pit. We can chase off the assassin. And the Hell Pit is getting eaten alive by a Manticore. This is what I like to see. Chaos Spawn can deal with the Plague Priest. And Snicketch is having a rough time, I gotta say. As soon as he's out, I think that should be it. But let's keep playing as well as we can. Our Manticore needs to continue hunting that Hell Pit. And these Chaos Spawn need to jump those mortars. Can also chase off some clan rats, which is good. And ooh, we got some clan rats moving in on our archers. Let's pull them back. Let's get the Chaos Spawn in. Use our cavalry to rout us some Skaven slaves. Actually, even better, let's kill some rat ogres. So there we go. Our caster can stay in combat, having done all he needed to do. Our Manticore looks like it's continuing to eat that Hell Pit. Nice. Snicketch is shattered, and that assassination attempt looks to have failed. Thank goodness for that, as it's looking pretty good now. But we'll have to be careful that Mogre doesn't die. Let's see, a huge rout on the back line, a rout on the Hell Pit, and now it's just the Plague Priest and some ROR Storm Vermin, I believe. Nice, look at this. A full surround, nowhere to escape. It's good. But that cavalry's gotta live. Mogre, you can do some damage to that Plague Priest. We can charge the Council Guard in the back. And our opponent gives us the GG. Nice. Oh my gosh, yeah, so... yeah, you can see there, Beastmen are still pretty good against Skaven. This, I don't even think this used any of the new DLC units. The ROR mortars, they did actually pay for themselves. But I don't think anything else did, except for the Storm Vermin and the Plague Priest, sort of. Chaos Spawn, what did the killing? My cavalry. Actually, I'm not sure. But anyways, there we go, there's a win. Oh, so as we get in, we have the same army. Yep, there you go. Except we replace one of the raiders with an Ungor herd, which we will be using to defend them. Simple as that, just to make sure wolf rats don't cause us too many problems here. We got spears on the line. And they can afford to go pretty wide, actually. And you know what? We can go really wide. Yeah, there we go. I like this. So we're gonna go really wide, deploy pretty far back, which will let us really examine the situation and decide how we want to engage. Let's see, we'll put 2 raiders on the flanks here. And these guys are gonna, yeah, they're just gonna protect against wolf rats. That's their job. We have Mogre, who will be hiding behind a rock, and a Bray Shaman will be following him. We also have Chaos Spawn, who are at the ready, charge in. And there we go. There is our army. Pretty standard, I must say. Oh man. Okay. Let's put these guys on this. Put the Razor Gore behind too. We'll put the Chaos Spawn on the main army hotkey. Good luck, have fun, Kark. Good luck, have fun. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's ready. And it looks like his army. It's an Eshin build. It's actually an Eshin build with Lord Skrulk. Interesting. Is he gonna try skirmishing us? That'd be pretty cool. He has 4 rat ogres, and the positioning sort of tells me that something should be in here. So what? We are not sure. Well, let's just be very careful here. We're going to pull these laddies back, and then we're going to let these guys set up for a little bit of a concave. There we go. Also progress upwards slightly. And yeah, there we go. We got some skirmishers here. So we just gotta pull back our chaos spawn. And then make sure that we don't take too much damage. And it's just gonna come down to that patient play. Let's see, let's get these guys here. Let's position here. And then these guys need to move in a tiny bit. We can move our archers up, these guys. And there we go. We took a little bit of damage, but we pushed back the skirmishers. These guys can continue moving up. And we just want to set up that concave and try to mitigate that skirmish pressure. So there we go. I think we're ready. And now begins the advance. We know the skirmishers are about in the middle of the army. And we can dodge with Mogre. That's not a problem. The wolf rats we're also able to keep an eye on. And the engage should begin soon. There are double assassins who we will send the chaos spawn in onto. And nice. I see some rat ogres that we can shut down. Meanwhile, our left flank should do well. And then let's deny the Skaven that flank. I think we can also summon a manticore now. And we can pull those guys back too while chasing down the wolf rats. And using these skirmishers to fight there. Now Squolk is putting in quite a bit of damage. But we're collapsing the lines. Wolf rats are on top of our raiders, but they'll do just fine. And we're also routing off those rat ogres. Wolf rats too should be out of business in just a second. And I think things are going well. In fact, things are going really well. There are still these gutter runners up, but that's just about it. The rat ogres here are doing okay. So we'll pull back that cavalry. We'll bring in the infantry versus them. Then use these guys to charge there. We almost have another manticore up. And you know what? I think we just have to kill those rat ogres. That feels like all we got to do to win it here. So we'll pull our forces. We'll get these guys back. Those wolf rats are on the run. And what's that? Is that an assassin? It is. We'll pull in our infantry to support the Bray Shaman. We'll get another summon up. There we go. Rat ogres are on the run. Wolf rats are on the run. And there are both of our manticore summons. Nice. Nice. Let's pull back these guys. Let's get the chaos spawn. And we can sort of ignore that flank now. Volk is nearly dead. And we will be able to actually counter those summons with our own summons. So that's good for us there. And it's just going to come down to gooning out Squolk. Let's reposition our army, gather our forces, and just continue the fight. We have a backup summon here too, in case we need it. And okay, there's some rat ogres over there. So we'll bring in our spears to support and then charge them with our spawn. We also have some infantry, some archers there to help out too. And Squolk is out of the fight. Same with the assassin. Same with those plague monks. So we'll move in. And we want to make sure Squolk does not come back. Our spears can engage some rat ogres. That's good. And nice, we have some more cavalry in the distance we can use there. Some more we can bring in over here. The Squolk is down now. The rat ogres are running. And these wolf rats don't pose much of a problem. Rat ogres are out too. And I think we have another win. We even have a pocket summon for Mogre, showing how well that really went there. These skirmishers can't skirmish for too long. They will run out of ammo. So even though we don't have much to catch them, that's not too much of a problem. Let's just consolidate our forces finish off those assassins and watch as the Skaven army gets shattered by beastmen once again. GG. Oh man. Take a screenshot there. And yeah, we got rat ogres, 4 wolf rats. You can see they don't really pay for themselves. And those, I think Skaven should still ban beastmen. I got it. As we load in, or we present ourselves against the Dark Elves, who have brought very few troops. Interesting. Myself, I have brought some handguns and some artillery. So against an army that small, I'm expecting what, maybe like a heavy cavalry focus style? Not sure how that will work out, but okay. If he goes heavy on cavalry, we want to be about here. And because he has so few troops, we're actually going to keep only 3 mobs for the front line. Our sirens will be in the back, and we have dogs hidden in the forest, ready to pounce when the time is needed. In fact, we're going to put some sneaky Morngulls here by our artillery. And also we have Noctilus too. He's going to be sitting right up and center. And he's just going to be picking away at any cavalry that comes our way. There we go. Let's move up our artillery too, all the way up there, which gets us pretty close to shooting them. And if he does come from the forest, we can turn guns and fire. So not too worried about that. Our dogs will be further up for scouting purposes. And we even have a humble gunnery wight to give ammunition and to just give us a little bit of single target killing power. These guys will be on 1 for emergencies. And good luck, have fun to Kark. Okay. So for his build, he has gone all in on ranged troops. So that's a bunch of repeater bolt throwers. I think our sneaky dogs over there will be able to give them a hard time. Our cannon too can now begin firing on the Corsair handbows. And already, I think we're in a nice position. Let's just keep an eye on that mini-map to make sure Dark Riders don't give us a hard time. The bolt throwers are starting to move up. But what will they be shooting at? It's going to take them a while to advance. And our dogs will be able to get to them by then. It just depends on where the rest of his army is. Nice, our mortars are beginning to fire. And you know what? I think we can move up our zombies a tiny bit. Our sirens too want to engage on those handbows. And there aren't any Dark Riders coming towards us, so that's a plus. Now our doggos can run in and begin causing some havoc. Our gunnery mob too can shoot at the crossbow guys. And our dogs, I expect they will be doing a-okay. So there we go, they're gonna run in, and some Dark Riders come out to support these bolt throwers. But I fear that won't be enough. We're pretty confident with the scurvy dog play. And we'll at the very least be able to shut down all of these guys. So there we go, we shut down some bolt throwers, and now our dogs can run for their lives. Nice, Noctilus, you need to back up. And now let's turn our handguns. Our dogs are going to now run, and the sirens will screen these handbows out of the way. Meanwhile, the dogs running to safety should be just fine. And Noctilus can do a lot of damage to the shades. So there we go. Doing a bunch of management. Let's keep those sirens a little bit more safe. And let's get our gunnery wight. You know what? Our gunnery wight needs to give Noctilus some ammunition. So we'll do that. And where are my other doggos? They're over here. Nice and safe. That's good. These crossbows are now routing. The plus, and Noctilus needs to be dodging. You can see that the bolt throwers are focusing him down. And by just doing a little bit of dancing, I think he'll be just fine. See the cannons too. I think they can focus down the bolt throwers just fine. And Sirens move over there. So now what we do in a situation like this is we begin the death march, I like to call it, because we can just advance slowly with our army, and then just pick away at the dark elves. This side is a little bit too heavy for us to progress on, but on this side we have Mourngulls coming in, and our opponent is unaware. So once those Mourngulls dive in on the on those troops, we should be just fine. Although I am noticing that we're running into a little bit of trouble here, in that our guys are getting mucked up a tiny bit. But we really need to advance on those bolt throwers. So let's just continue marching up. Noctilus is constantly putting in damage, so that's good. And we're about to overrun the left flank. Nice. Our zombies are going to continue pushing up, and we really want to keep those dogs safe. The Supreme Sorceress of Fire, though, looking a little bit feisty, moves in towards us, and our Mourngulls are taking quite a bit of damage. So we have to be careful there. But I think we are about to shut down those pesky bolt throwers. Nice. We'll be able to get a zombie summon down on top of them. And we can also bring our dogs over, which should deal with them quite nicely. There we go, Noctilus. You only have to dodge for a little bit longer now, and then you'll be good to go. Those guys can get dealt with. We'll have our artillery shooting that way. Our dogs will move up. These guys will shut those down. And our opponent looks to be going for a dive on Noctilus. Lucky for me, I have a heal coming up, and we have a zombie wall to screen for him. But will he have high enough HP by the time the fighting goes down? Yes, we do. We're gonna rapidly throw down a heal, summon some zombies, then I think we're good. Nice. Meanwhile, the dogs can munch on some repeater bolt throwers. Pull back over there towards the other one. And finally, looks like we've been able to push back the dark elves. We are getting kited though, which hurts. And it is straining our micro, getting pulled so far apart. In fact, we even let our dogs get caught. That's not good. So we'll have to pull them this away. And now we just gotta deal with these hand bows. Noctilus is doing fine. And the bolt throwers are down. Let's see, these Dark Riders too. We can actually charge them, surprisingly enough. And nice, we can even give Noctilus a little bit more ammo. Keep him shooting for the rest of the game. See some handguns. It's fine if they fight those guys. And nice, our dogs live. They live and they'll be able to win the game for us. A Spirit Leech goes down on Noctilus though. Nothing in the heck won't be able to fix. And we just bring our dogs over there to clear up the rest of the Dark Elf infantry. We focus down the Dark Riders. And I think we're in a nice position. Our Sirens even live too. But it was pretty sketchy. It was not a cakewalk. Let's pick up that artillery and shoot the Dark Riders, who are moving towards us. Come on. You can get some extra shots by doing that. There we go. And nice. The artillery should live. We'll now turn Noctilus to shoot some hand bows. And I think it's time we group up the dogs. Nice. We just barely managed to rout off the Dark Riders there. Or maybe due to the manual fire. And just move the dogs over there. Nice. Oh, there are some shades though. Got a back pocket zombie summon. And Noctilus. Come on, run! Oh, he takes a big hit. It hurts. But we get a zombie summon off on the shades. And we can cast another Wraith Storm on the caster. We can send our zombies on those guys. And Noctilus will sadly go down. But not without a good fight. Just too bad he can't cast Nahek though. What HP is he at? 300? Alright. But I think we're still good. He just needs to stabilize and then we can use the rest of our healing on the doggos. Actually, the sirens would be a bit better. Let's get the gunnery white close to him. And there we go. He stabilizes. And you know what? A heal on the sirens I think is actually better. Oh, whoops. Oh no, I screwed up. We didn't get the heal off on the sirens. Oh. Oh, Noctilus is down. A rough time for us. But at the very least, the Supreme Sorceress of Fire is low, and there we go. We get the heal on the sirens. Jeez, that was pretty sketchy. And Noctilus is just going to move onwards now to deal with those crossbows. Our dogs can sit back and recover their stamina. Oh, whoops! And we actually get some crumbling from our zombies. Puts us in a little bit of a sketchier position. And Noctilus is looking rough. He goes down, but the balance of power is still with us, which means that it's probably just these shades that we have to deal with. There we go, there is another unit of shades. But we can dodge them. Our sirens should be able to get engaged. We lose a unit of dogs. The sirens are in the fight. And with Noctilus's healing, I think we should be just fine. You can turn off fire at will in case we need that last shot to kill the Supreme Sorceress. But we can see here why it is extremely important to keep your scurvy dogs alive. There we go, we'll throw down a Scab Scrath. Should turn the balance of power in our favor. And with our gunnery white engaging, I think we'll be good. But wow, that actually was a lot closer than I would have expected. That was a nice near snipe on Noctilus. But anyways, the deck gunner has really nice stats. And we do have some handguns left too. We just have to rout off these shades. Why are they so hard to kill? Oh, we have some zombies back here too. Let's bring them in. Okay, gunnery white is continuing to fight the shades. But there we go. Jeez. GG. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that got really close there. Something almost killed Noctilus. I guess it was just the constant spirit leeches. Maybe it would have been better if I just topped him off there. But we managed to get the win. Oh, nice. Wow, yeah, 4 bolt throwers. Bolt throwers are really good against Coast, and if they don't commit for a full rush, it can get pretty sketchy. But we managed to pull through. Alright, that reminder should do. Very good map from Coast. Yeah, that's correct. We have a lot of space that that Chaos has to cover. So that's good. And we have a gunnery white to give ammunition to our troops. We also have a pretty hardy front line of sirens and your normal everyday zombies. But what's this? What's this? Depth Guard. Depth Guard polearms. What's going on? Well, for anyone who's new here, Depth Guard polearms will actually melt Forsaken. Surprisingly enough. I'm not sure what about it does it, but their extra damage and their extra melee attack, yeah, it destroys Forsaken like no one's business. So we've taken a ton, and we're up against our enemy, who has an army of roughly equal size. Not to be dissuaded though, we have quite the lineup here. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. We got bombers and handguns. Our bombers are good, but we'll just take one because they cost a little bit more money now. We will have our scurvy dogs at the ready. on 2 as always, and our deck droppers are going to be skirmishing and trying to take out horsemen. Luther will be amazing versus something like Sartorial. And with all that out of the way, I think we're good. Oh yeah, and we need to deploy, we'll deploy on, deploy nice and centered. Sort of like this position. No, I don't. We're going to deploy over here instead, since we want as much flat land around us as possible. So good luck, have fun to our opponent Tesla. Let's see how well we do. We don't have any artillery, which could be big. But not too bad. Have those skirmishers, these bats, and they'll do us well. So good luck, have fun from our opponent. And we can see here that he has brought a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire and Sigvald the Magnificent, the man himself. There are also some aspiring champions in the back to deal with sirens, which could cause us some problems, but we'll see. We'll begin the game with some nice skirmishing against these Marauder horsemen throwing axes. And we can just juke around with Luther while our bats get their shots off. There we go. And I see they're just peeking into handgun range. And there we go. We are able to dodge. We can now turn our bats and use our handguns to screen for our skirmishers. There we go, the Marauder horsemen taking quite a bit of damage. Is a nice start. But oh no, we don't want to line up for Burning Head. So we're going to move our bombers up a tiny bit. And we're going to move our depth guard over here on this side. So now we have the job of sniping out the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Fire. We have handguns to support. So he's going to be having a hard time. Already getting taken down to 2/3 health is good for us. And you know what? I think it's time we bring our Scurvy dogs to get ready if he routes. Oh wow, nice. These guys, the horsemen actually push up, which let us shoot them with handguns, and we can pull them back and throw down a heal. Works out pretty well for us. Luther is just going to continue tanking these horsemen, since he is mobile. So there we go. We use Luther to tank it up, and we're in a good position. Chaos Warriors with halberds are not an issue, and our flying deck gunners are doing crazy amounts of damage. These horsemen just need to be finished off, and then we will dominate the skies. There we go. We'll continue chasing them. We have our dogs on some too. And I think it's about time we get some summons going. Some zombie summons here should do us good. And nice, our doggos. They actually got charged. That's a little bit of a problem there. But let's see, there's also some aspiring champions killing my sirens. We want none of that. So let's just pull these guys away. Bring our bats back so they don't die. Use our zombies to screen over there. Our depth guard are doing okay against Chosen with halberds, but we've almost lost our caster, so we're going to prioritize her instead, and try. Oh no, she didn't get the heal off. Okay, well that's pretty big. The Chaos Sorcerer of Fire is still alive too, which could cause us some problems. But we have Luther coming in on Sigvald now. I can be happy about. And you know what? He can throw down a breath attack on these Chaos Warriors too. Let's take out the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Let's rout off those halberds. There we go. And then let's cycle charge that guy. Oh, nice. Our caster stabilized. Thank goodness for that. And charge the Mirror Guard, who do not have any magic damage. And we can watch as Luther gets murdered by Sigvald. That's a bit of a problem. Let's just shoot him instead. Let's see, our gunnery white 2 will want to come over, and he's going to supply Luther with ammunition. This is clearly still a little bit of a close game. But wow, look at those depth guard with pole arms. They are doing really well. So we're going to use them. And we're just going to focus down Sigvald. That's the name of the game today. See, our guns are getting caught up, which is a bit of a problem. And that Sorcerer Lord of Fire is doing some worrying amounts of damage, but it's fine. We have some heals, and we're gonna have to be careful here. Gonna have to be careful. We have another breath attack. Let's get our gunnery white out of that business. And then we're going to use Luther, his breath attack, to shut down those chaos halberds. There's another fireball coming in. But I really just want to set up for a big heal. And oh no, our gunnery white actually looks like he's about to go down. Don't want that. So we're going to pull him back, and Chaos is looking like they're doing okay. It's really too bad that Sorcerer Lord of Fire was able to do so much. And oh no, we're actually letting our dogs get caught, which is a pain for sure. Okay, let's take stock. Have our gunnery white. Has ammunition. He's going to give it to Luther. Luther's going to fly up into the sky. And you know what? We really need to kill that Sorcerer Lord. Our guns are going to keep focusing on Sigvald. And we need to heal something. Okay, there we go. The Sorcerer Lord is gone. That's good. We have our depth guard now, who are dying to Sigvald. Does that matter though? I guess not really. It's not a huge issue. Okay, so our caster is alive. And Luther can move in close over here. And we can throw down our final heal. There we go. So that's big. And it's going to come down to if we can kill Sigvald. Man, is he a pain to deal with right now. Let's see if I can position my bats too. And okay. Yeah, the name of the game is killing Sigvald. And then hopefully Luther will be able to finish off the rest of these guys. But we're in a little bit of a bad position, I'd say. Chaos is doing surprisingly well. Let's see, Luther. Thankfully, that ammunition buff from the gunnery white is helping him out. And we have our deck droppers flying in. Our depth guard are still healthy too. And they will be regenerating. So that's nice. There's just some aspiring champions here who aren't much of a problem. And thank goodness for that gunnery white. That helped out a lot. The depth guard too are performing really well. Sigvald, if he goes down, I would be expecting terror routes. Lots and lots of terror routes. But he's healing up. Luther can only fire so quickly. Which is a shame. But man, look at those depth guard. Depth guard for the win. See, these horsemen are charging into the depth guard too. And we're going to see a mass rout as soon as Sigvald goes down. So excited for that. We have just enough ammunition. And you know what? We want to save the cycle charging for these bats. See here, Sigvald is playing chicken. But you know what? I think we can just finish it off with a big land in from Luther. We still have the depth guard engaged. And there we go. A huge rout after killing Sigvald. It's just some Chaos Warriors now. We don't have a breath attack, which hurts for sure. But we have a Nahak. And we just need a little bit of Winds of Magic to cast it. There are aspiring champions, but we have a almost full HP Luther here. And he will be regenerating. Our depth guard too are doing really well. And here we go, the final engagement. So we want to get as much damage on these guys as possible to get them to Terror Route. There we go, we managed to rout off the Chaos Warriors. But now we're out of ammunition. And we're caught up in some Chaos Warriors with halberds. Ugh, that's not good. Luther is surrounded, but these hero depth guard are doing okay. We just need some terror routes, but oh no. Leadership is looking pretty strong for these guys. And it's just Luther. It's just Luther now. Which could be rough. These aspiring champions too, they give a buff to leadership, which is actually keeping the chaos in the fight. So maybe it's good that we focus them down. And we're seeing terror routes once again. And it's just going to come down to Luther. The nerfs are actually coming into play here too. Luther could have had more ammunition, which he would be using to kill these guys here. Do these guys have ITP? They don't. So if we can just get these aspiring champions a little bit lower, we should continue to see terror routes going down. Luther is getting low though. And we're just going to be spam clicking. Kill those champions, man. Oh no, balance of power is swinging towards chaos. But they're clumping up. They're clumping up. And if they get exhausted, it means that that the leadership will be low. We just need the terror route cooldown to reset. Luther is going to continue fighting. And we see some halberds on the brink of breaking. But oh no, this is looking bad. I think Kark has done it. Unless we see huge routes right now on these two Chaos Warrior halberds. But no, GG, well played. Oh my gosh, what a game. I think I really screwed up not finishing off that Sorcerer Lord. And it worked out well for Kark. Well played to him. Oh man, that was so close. That was really close. Look at those depth guard though. Look at that. 1,600 damage. I should have taken a whole army of them. Wow, he did really good. Luther, of course, he did well too. And the Gunnery White, he did nice because he gave ammo to Luther. But I didn't have to take him on a crab. Our deck droppers too did really well. But I had my Sirens fighting aspiring champions for too long. And I didn't think... Actually, my handguns did well too, so not too bad. Okay, so on to the next game. Against our opponent, Tesla. He's up 1 game against us. We're going to see how well our Lizardman build works against him. For our build, we have brought the usual flank overload style of the Lizardmen. We got Mazdamundi with his newly buffed spells and fixed ruination of cities, taking on the right flank. He will be accompanied by our unit of a cohort of Sotek, which can tank any cavalry that decides to charge in there. And we have Pterodon Riders to give a lot of trouble to any greenskin archers. If any cavalry decides to go along our left flank, we have skirmishers to keep them away along with our Pterodon Riders. And yeah, there you go. There you go. There's the build. I'm so tired. Skink skirmishers, here we go. They're gonna be on the ready. Good luck, have fun to our opponent. Let's see how well this flank overload does versus his army size of 1,000. Quite a few greenskins to kill today. But we could do okay. He has nice space to kite back. And he can deploy pretty far away from our army. Good luck, have fun from our opponent. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Immediately, I see an Arachnarok spider. And some skirmishers. So nice. We can begin shooting them up. Moving our forces along this side. And then we'll just leave our infantry at the ready. Our Pterodon Riders can move back. And these guys can go over there. So we're just going to punch right on through. Move our army up. And then and turn our skirmish mode on for our skink skirmishers. Our Saurus will be fighting Orc Boys. A nice matchup for them. And now it looks like the fighting is about to begin. So Mazdamundi's going to charge in there, and we're going to use our Stegodon to begin getting on top of some archers. Here we go. We can throw down that over there. And we should be on top of the archers soon. There's some Crimson Killas, which could be a problem. Let's see. And Mazdamundi, how well are you doing? He's doing pretty well. So that's nice. Our Saurus are going to continue on the march, and these guys, like I said, they need to deal with the archers. Crimson Killers can wait. We need to drop bombs. There we go. We are in position. And nice. We have the Goblin routing off the field. Can heal the Stegodon, or maybe not. Let's see. And our Pterodons are just going to have to micro. Have to not get shot by archers. So there we go. They'll be dancing around as we slowly move our guys in to support. These guys have AP. They'll do well versus Spider. And Mazdamundi can fight Skarsig. Probably no problem, though maybe we should cycle charge more. There we go. We can now rock drop on top of the archers. Bring in the Saurus. And then use our skirmishers to kill his skirmishers. So there we go. Stegodon is in the fight. And those Crimson Killers should be out of the battle in just a second. We'll throw down a big vortex on them. And that's nice. Now we don't want Mazdamundi to be dying here. So let's pull him away. And then let's move these guys in to fight that big old blob fight. These guys, oh, they don't have drop box, so their duty will be to chase off the archers, while Mazdamundi gets rampaged, which is a little bit bad. But we have a lot of infantry here, and they're going to continue fighting. Meanwhile, our cavalry can help out our skink skirmishers. We almost have the Crimson Killers routed. Mazdamundi 2 is back in action. And what's the Ruination of Cities should deal with that small blob over there. Nice, we've routed off the spiders. And I think the next target now is that hag. Some more Saurus are online. We'll use our skirmishers to deal with the Crimson Killers. And we'll bring our cavalry in for cycle charging. The River Troll hag is slowly getting torn apart, which is good. And what are these guys? Some rampaging Saurus warriors. Nice. See, where's my Stegodon? It can go for the River Troll hag. And Mazdamundi can go for Skarsnik. It will work well for us. Now it's just a matter of dealing with those monsters. But it looks like Greenskins don't have much else to hold the line here. Our monsters are very powerful here in the fight. And they should just be able to run them over. Some skirmishers are still alive, but they can't really do too much damage to Mazdamundi. However, the River Troll hag is back, so let's go take care of her. And let's send our AP units onto the Arachnarok Spider. Let's see here. I'm also seeing a big group of troops over there that could be dealt with. Spider is coming in hot towards Mazdamundi. And he is caught out a little bit by the archers. Let's get our Pterodons back. Let's just consolidate our forces in general. And then see if Mazdamundi can avoid death from the spider. We'll bring our Stegodon in to try to deal with that. And we'll also bring our cavalry to finish off Skarsnik. We have a lot of buffs though, so I don't think our opponent will be able to pull out a win here. And that's GG. So nice, yeah, just a very, very solid game. Yeah, Mazdamundi did well. Our monster fighting squad was just better. We had a nice monster mash there. So, as we load into the game, we are now playing Wood Elves against Bretonia. And we've brought a bunch of spears. We've also brought a bunch of... We brought a couple Deepwood Scouts to kill archers. And we also brought Hawk Riders to kill archers. So, we're really ready to kill archers here. And then after they're all dead, we shall kill the cavalry with our War Dancers and Zotes. We also have a unit of Glade Riders who can pressure archers too. And then we'll just leave that in the middle over there. So these guys are going to be deployed here. And if the Deepwood Scouts need their support, then they'll pull back into the safety of this position. If I lose, it clearly means I don't have enough Glade Guards. Sure, I'll take you up on that. So here we go, our army set up. Good luck, have fun to our opponent. Let's see if we can finish this best of 5 soon. My voice is dying. It is dying. That's right. No way Watchers. Which means the only way we can kill cavalry is with our spears. It's an adapted Xiphos build. I'm taking some of the stuff I learned from Xiphos and adapting it to my own build. But these Azrai spears have shown quite a bit of success before. I'm very excited to see how well they do here. Nice. Tesla is ready. Let's do this. Now he has opted for no trebuchets. That's nice. There is also a King Lewin Leon Kerr. And we can just shoot him to death with our ranged guys. Let's just get in position to do that. And then we're also going to move up our Deepwood Scouts. And they are going to be shooting at Peasant Bowmen. There we go. Nice. Some nice shots off the get-go. And hey, that's some pretty good damage. So we'll just pull them back and let the kiting commence. The Sisters of Twilight are doing pretty well. And it looks like some peasant mobs are moving up. So we can actually counter that by bringing out our cavalry force. Should do pretty well. Deepwood Scouts are going to reposition. Going to change to burst fire. We're going to see how well we can kill them archers over there. We are also about to rout off some guys back there. That's good. And some cavalry's moving in, but we have our nice defensive formation here. Lewin is getting close, but we should be able to put in some damage on him. We'll just kite back. Nice. So we'll do that. Then just continue to pull away. There we go. In fact, I think the Sisters probably charge in towards Lewin and get some damage on him there. Some knights are moving up. Oh, halt. Hey, that was close. We almost made our formation real bad. But the Sisters are now taking damage. Some knights charge in. We have Zotes at the ready. And Lewin is going to continue taking damage. That works out for us. Can turn off fire at will. And we're expecting Lewin to heal cap here. No doubt about that. But nice. I think we might be able to get some picks on cavalry here. We're going to land our flyers. And they're going to stall up that cavalry and get a whole ton of damage. Lewin has landed too. And these guys need fire at will on. Now that we managed to catch out a bunch of knights, we can pull them back. Send these guys onto the knights. And then continue peppering Lewin. Meanwhile, those Bretonnian archers can get dealt with. And our we're gonna shoot up some archers. There we go. Our Deepwood Scouts need to focus them down. Let's get those guys in there. These guys can fight the peasants. These guys will be in reserve. There we go. So what's it? Lewin has landed once again. Now's a good time to throw down a second heal. And just leave the work to our Azrai warriors. Let's see. Yep, those knights are going down quickly. And we'll just continue plinking away at Lewin. Our spears can move back. And nice, that's a lot of dead knights. Our war dancers can move back now. The Lewin back in the air. These guys can move back. In fact, they're going to pull towards our Azrai spears. And I think, yeah, those peasant archers are undefended. So we're just going to start chasing after them while we use the sisters to pull to safety. These knights are going to face Azrai spears. Those guys are going to pull away. And our hawk riders are going to be now used in melee. We're going to switch back to our other form of fire. And these Deepwood Scouts, I think they just need to be firing as much as possible now. They're going to do that. Ooh, some nice play. Knights in reserve are actually causing some issues here. And Lewin is getting away. Let's see, some more knights are closing in on my troops. But let's see, Zotes are still healthy. We'll throw down a heal there. And we'll give the sisters some armor that they can face off against Lewin. Our Deepwood Scouts, however, are taking a lot of heat. And the sisters, you know, they do a lot of damage. But they can't fight Lewin head on for too long. Okay, nice. So we managed to catch some knights with some Zotes. And nice, we can begin firing in on Lewin again. So that's good. In fact, I think we might even be able to catch him out. So we'll throw a big heal down over here. Use a pendulum to deal with that infantry. And see if we can make the big play of killing Lewin. Let's see, our Hawk Riders are also back. They'll be moving in to deal with the Bretonian archers. And Lewin is looking real rough, I must say. Bring in some more spears, and the Sisters of Twilight are doing some good work. Lewin is on the verge of breaking, and our Zotes are in combat with cavalry. Nice. Lewin takes another hit, and he's dead. Yes. Now the match isn't over yet. Balance of power says so, and that's because there's a lot of Grail Knights here. However, we get a solid charge in on top of them, and we should be able to kill them off. No problem. Our Hawk Riders too can turn off fire at will, and it's just going to be their job to chase away units. Should be fine. And we're just going to continue chasing those Grail Knights. There we go. Hawk Riders are doing good. And our Wood Elves are just going to keep outrunning those guys. Nice, we even have some Deepwood Scouts left. But can we catch these Knights? We don't have a slow, but the Sisters of Twilight are very fast. So they're just going to continue chasing after the Grail Knights. And as they take damage, the balance of power continues to fall in our favor. Nice. So this is looking really good. There's just some peasant mobs here. And the Grail Knights who are just getting hounded down by our cavalry. Our spears then move in to kill off the peasants. We have Zotes at 7 models, which is very nice for them. And now they can just move in and finish off the knights. A charge in from the sisters will do us good. It slows them down and gets quite a bit of damage. And we have a heal in the pocket. See, Grail Knights are looking like they should be out of it in just a second. Nice, let's pull back these guys. And they should be out. Yep, there we go. They take to the skies, loose a volley on the Knights. And then let's finally use this Eagle ability to finish them off. There we go, they finally rout. And we get a huge rout from the Bretonians. GG. Oh man, we are one game away from victory. Yeah, Azrai Spears. Look at that. 1,600 damage. That's pretty good. Sisters. Also very good. Zotes, very good. Hawk Riders paid for themselves. These guys, not so much. Deepwood Scouts, not so much. But they did put on some good pressure. And they took out important targets like the peasants. Actually, I'll record. Okay. Playing our final game. Tomb Kings against Beastmen. And we've opted for a heavy on the skirmish and heavy on the cheap infantry. Although we do have some elite infantry if they are needed. And we'll mostly be protecting this single group of archers here. They are going to be behind multiple layers. So if a chaos spawn summon does happen, we'll be able to block them with our spears. Also have a spear unit here and along the sides with Nehekara warriors ready to jump in where they are needed. Kepler guard in the back so that they can find a great position. And our two monsters are Cetra and a Scorpion. Scorpion will go here since it's harder to skirmish along this mountainous area. And with all that out of the way, I think we are about ready. Also, yeah, we have some cavalry too. So there we go. Just a very heavy infantry build. For our opponent, he has a very small army, which I think will benefit our skirmishers greatly. In fact, so much so, I think I'm going to deploy a little bit back. He could go for double Cygor, but they don't have a whole ton of targets. You know what? Double Cygor sort of could be a pain. So we're going to move up a tiny bit. Let's get our cavalry in the forest. And get to it. This could be the final game in this best of 5 series. Versus Tesla 21. My voice is on the brink of exploding. So we're going to be trying really hard to get the win here. This is good luck, have fun. Let's do it. So we begin. We take stock of his army, and I'm seeing a lot of Minotaurs and Razorgore herd. Razorgore herd aren't too troublesome, since we can get them to rampage. We're gonna take off our Fire at Will, so that we can get a little bit of a better, get some better shots against these guys. We can also begin cycle charging, which is fun. There we go. And we can give a parting shot to those Razorgore herd right after that cycle charge. So there we go. Already things are going pretty well for us. And now that the Razorgore has backed up because of the skirmishing, we can bring in another cycle charge. So there we go. A big spell comes in on my cavalry though, which is payback for the Tomb King side, but we will be able to rout off some Gore herd. That's a plus. And you know what? I think I'm going to reposition so that we can get the proper engagements here with the Nehekaras blocking. What's it? What are these guys called? Nehekara warriors fighting the Beastmen here. Let's see, Mogre and fight Cetra, and there we go. Our nice positioning will pay off. A Chaos Spawn summon does come down, but it's not too much of an issue. You can see we have spears at the ready to block them up. And Cetra, you know what? You can throw down some protection on yourself. Our next order of business is routing off that flank, our left flank. And our Kepler guard can probably just hold the line over there as long as they can. Okay, so let's deal with those Razorgore herd. Get our guys on autopilot. And use Cetra to really try and kill those Minotaurs. We have a Tomb Scorpion too, which it doesn't really want to fight Mogre, since he is he's really hard to kill. So we're going to use our Scorpion for something else instead. Nice, I see we're catching some chariots there. And we also have those Minotaurs getting pretty low. Although our Scorpion is getting caught up a little bit. Let's bring it to safety. And then let's also defend our ranged guys. Nice, we're able to chase off some Razorgore herd. And let's get ready for some cycle charging on the right flank. Our Scorpion, we're going to bring it to collapse this right area. And then that should be a pretty nice position for us. Our Kepler Guard are taking some damage from spells. We'll increase their survivability with Cetra. And let's increase their damage too while we're at it. Let's see, my horsemen here can be used to chase off the Minotaurs. And now we can also take out the Razorgore herd. Let's see, so far things are looking pretty good, although a nice pick on the Tomb Scorpion means that we will lose quite a bit of power there. And we actually get some of our horsemen caught up. These guys have finished chasing off their routing troops. And oh dear, we really want Cetra to get out of here. In an attempt to save our skeleton, we actually put Cetra in a pretty bad position. Let's try to recover from that. And then now that they're distracted by Cetra, we can use our Scorpion to kill the Bray Shaman. Our Scorpion will be getting caught by Minotaurs, but now we're in a much better position. The Scorpion can get some physical resist. Oh my gosh, I misclicked. Well, that's rough, but yeah, we're able to shoot on the Minotaurs. Oh man, I really could have used that physical resist. Anyways, let's continue chasing off the Minotaurs, and take a look at Cetra. He's doing healthy. There are some Razorgores here feasting on my troops, and I want to secure my archers. Let's attempt to do that. We're still chasing off Minotaurs, which is good there, but losing that Scorpion was a pretty big misplay. And I think now is about time when I want to be really focusing on keeping my cavalry alive. They're really good for the late game, and they with cycle charging in the rear of units, they are able to they're able to get a lot of damage in and break leadership, which is extremely important in this situation against the Beastmen. Our archers too, we're going to stop them firing so that they can use their ammunition on those Minotaurs when the big engagement happens. See, Cetra can go here and take care of those Razorgore herds, and this is as good a time as ever to shoot the Minotaur. So we're going to do that, and then we're just going to pull our cavalry back and keep them as safe as we can. Let's see, Cetra should be able to make quick work of those spears, but we'll have to be careful. Let's begin pulling him through, and see if we can actually rout off these Minotaurs. Cetra is going to deal with the Razorgore herd. We get a charge in on them, and oh man, a huge Beastmen force is now collapsing in on top of us. Our cavalry is doing rough there, and oh man, a huge hit on our infantry. Now, these Beastmen troops, they are tattered, which means they will be just perpetually terror routing. The Minotaurs too, I think. So that's a nice place. And we also have our most elite infantry unit up and going. We just have to play very carefully with Cetra and use this cavalry to the best of our advantage. These guys should be terror routing in a second too. And we have to be very careful that our Kepler Guard do not get murdered by those spells. Minotaurs are charging in. We hit the Bray Shaman back. And this is a really nice time for us to charge the Minotaurs in the back. Oh no, but our opponent responds. He brings in some support Minotaurs. And we're going to react by pulling our cavalry back. And instead, they're going to be on clearing duty. So there's a bunch of troops here that we can clear out, and the Minotaurs, they don't want to be caught up in a fight against the Kepler Guard. So that puts us in a good place, and it looks like they're looping around to dive in on Cetra. We won't let that happen. And you know what? Let's buff up the Kepler Guard once again. Minotaurs charge in from the side that my cavalry isn't on. It's really nice play from my opponent. But will it be enough? The Minotaurs are now getting charged in by cavalry. And if we can just rout them, I think we're in a good place. Cetra does not want to be taking damage. They're going to be giving him physical resist. And nice, we managed to rout off some Minotaurs. Our cavalry does get charged in the back, however. Which could be problematic. But thankfully, we still have the Kepler Guard. Cetra does not want to be taking too much damage. We do not want to get him to crumbling zone. So we'll pull him back, and now we're going to use him to cycle charge that Bray Shaman. We also have some Gore Herd here that will have a hard time versus this incoming charge. So there we go. And we see a big rout from the Beastmen. Nice. Kepler Guard. We're going to hold the line and allow Cetra to cycle charge. He's going to use his buff to make sure that he takes as few hits as possible. And our cavalry is just going to be on standby. So there we go. We rout off the Bray Shaman. But we do have some Razor Gore Herd coming in. We're going to bring our Kepler Guard once again to go in and engage them. And they should be dealt with about now. They get a charge in on Cetra, which does some damage. But it gives our cavalry a counter charge, which gets them to rout. So now I think it is just Cetra. There are a few very low HP troops that we don't very much have to worry about. And there is no more casting that will come in from the Beastmen. So it's just going to be a whole ton of cycle charging from Cetra. There is the new update, which changes how hard it is to knock down enemy lords, which could be big. But in this situation, I think we should be just fine. A huge hit comes in on Mulgar. He's about to rout. He doesn't have any summons left, so we're happy to bring our troops close. And he's about to break. One more charge should get it done. So let's bring in our cavalry for the last time to make sure we get the charge in the back bonus. Bring in Cetra, and there we go. We secure a win. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we did it. We finally won a tournament on stream. A momentous moment for us. It got pretty spicy there when we lost our Tomb Scorpion. But Cetra, what a beast. We lost a lot of our cavalry too due to some misplays. But they did a lot of charging on that infantry, and it paid off. You can see losing the Scorpion was big, but Cetra was bigger. Look at that. Look at those damage values. That's some nice stuff. 2,000 damage. Okay, these archers are definitely worth it. So GG. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, wow. So, thank you, Optimus Pine. Yeah, so I guess I'll begin closing it out now. For my YouTube anyways. Thank you very much for sticking it to the end. You know, if you want to see more of this, you can follow, you can subscribe. It should be very much appreciated. But even without that, I think I'm pretty happy just to have a break. So that's what we're going to be going for. We're going to pass out on a bed and enjoy the fact that we managed to pull out the big win in the tournament today. Wow, thank you very much, everybody, for coming in. My voice is super dead. So I think I'll tap out now. We'll return to main menu. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to cover. I don't know. Check my Discord, I guess. Shameless plugs. So there you go. Yeah, we'll be putting all of this on YouTube too. So if you missed any of it, you can check that out. It'll also be edited down so there's no downtime, and that it won't be like a 5-hour video. Alright, yep, thank you very much, guys. And goodbye.